Hello, my mates. My name is Arkham Tardis, and welcome to Lego Arts. Okay, now I know a lot of people are wondering, what is that? What does that mean? Okay, well, settle down, people. Okay, the basic idea of this is that part of this channel, aside from video games, singing, and acting, and all that, I'm also going to be doing some Lego showcase videos. Showcasing some projects that I have done in the past, and potential projects for the future. These projects can conclude of minifigures, full sets such as vehicles or bases. Says we have a few of those around, but the idea is that I'm going to showcase these to you guys, show I guess what they look like, and even do fun videos of them. And before I proceed any further, these are largely containing decals. So full disclaimer to decals. None of these are mine. They belong to their original owners, so I take no credit in any of them. Okay, without further ado, I'll show you the figures. Okay, so here are the figures themselves. These were made back in November of last year. It's been a long time. I don't exactly remember where or when they were. I just remember it was sometime in November. Or maybe it was October. I don't fully remember, though. No, however, these were some of the originals, and they didn't start out like this. They each evolved all at one point or another. So, first we have Batman, Batgirl, Batwoman, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Alfred Pennyworth, because you can't have a Batman family without Alfred. No. Alfred's the best. You need Alfred. Okay, and over here is Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Red Robin. So I'll take these figures one at a time and give you a full showcase of each one. To start things off, we have the Dark Knight himself, of Batman. This figure was originally, he started out in his normal black suit, for the figure was just black with the yellow symbol on and the belt. And a regular cowl, hang on. The first things, to start things off, let me take off the cowl. With the cowl, if I can get it past the eye parts. There we go. So here's Bruce Wayne's head himself. And I don't know if you can fully tell on the camera, but the whiteness to sort of represent his eyes, as whenever he has the mask on, it's a little bit shiny, because I tried to give it a more metallic kind of look. And on the other side is a smiling face. I don't really know why he has that face, because Batman doesn't really smile that much, because he's Batman. So, as you can see with the rest of the body, this is an Arkham Knight suit. This was slightly modified from the original. Reason being was because when this was printed off, you can't really see anything. You can't see the symbol, you can't see the special little details, so I put some gray on gray to fill in the gaps, to sort of give you a full view of how it really looks. And his legs actually do move a little bit. Alright, that's another problem I have with some of these customs, is that their legs can't really move that much, otherwise the cowl will just come off, and it's a nightmare. Okay, let's take his head off. I've also painted into the neck black, for the effect with the cowl. I hand cut his cape. This was originally just a standard cape, but then, I wanted to improve from his original cape. The original cape was fine, but I wanted to make some improvements. New cowl, new suit, might as well throw in a new cape. With that, and getting a closer look at the body itself. This is a very well made decal. Even before the gray, this was very well made. And with the back, there's nothing really painted on the back. I might paint this in the future, or I might just leave it like this. Either way, with the cape on, it's not really important. And on his sidearms, he has his gauntlets. I might improve those, actually. I might take some molding clay and actually make him some gauntlets. That'd be kind of cool. Cool. If you guys want to see that, let me know below. And I'll think about it. Alright, let's put this figure together. This figure back together. Another thing about what part of this needs is that it's putting the figures back together. It's kind of hard and kind of long. Oh, before I move on, about Batman's mask, I wanted to give it a more Arkham Knight effect. So I cut off the ears, made them a little bit longer with some molding clay. and I think it actually looks pretty cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next character. Alrighty, next we have Damian Wayne's Robin minifigure. This version is somewhat based off of the Injustice 2 version. I don't really like that version that much, but after seeing the suit a little bit, I thought that looked pretty cool, so I incorporated some materials from the suit to this figure. This originally started out as a Tim Drake Arkham Robin because of the torso, but over time I kind of wanted to give like each character their own specific suit. It would like have Tim Drake Red Robin, Dick Grayson Nightwing. I mean, rather than have multiple different Robins, because that would be a huge mess. So I settled down for Damian Wayne Robin, and getting a closer look at the figure itself. So this is mostly hand paints. Like his legs and his arms, they're hand painted, and his face is a standard face. Though, due to the hood, I can't take the hood off. Like I cannot take this thing off whatsoever. It's permanently stuck to his head. Well, that's alright. I have no plans as of removing it anyway. And taking a look at the cape, I cut it off to make it can look more bird-like, like from Arkham Knight, because I thought that looked pretty cool. It spoke more Robin-like. Okay, and side note, do not try and paint a cape. Like, unless you have one of those special capes that has a thick part, that has a thick side to it, for where it's kind of hard. And unless you have one of those, I highly recommend that you paint a cape with just one color. Otherwise, you're gonna be there all day, covering it with layer after layer of either color, and it will just bleed through the cape. It's a nightmare. So if you want to do one of those, I highly recommend you just stick with one color, or get one of those special capes. Okay, for the rest of the figure though, no, his symbol, well, it came from another Robin decal that I thought, let's put it on more, because the original R, you can somewhat see it, but best to improve. And as you can see, nothing on the back. I might paint something in the future. Should add more paint. I paint to his shoulders to give it him, to add more to the suit. And I think his legs can move. Okay, they can somewhat move. And his sword, though, his sword was definitely based off of Injustice 2, because I thought the sword just looked so cool. Well, it's like a long katana, and he has his little symbol. Oh, like the R there. I'm not really that good at like specific details, but I think this came out very well. This came out pretty well. So in the future, I might actually remake a Tim Drake Robin. I mean, maybe even remake a Dick Grayson and Jason Todd Robin. Okay, and now let's move on to the next little hero. Next up is Barbara Gordon Batgirl. There's not really a whole lot to this figure. Like, honestly, I mean, there's not really much of the decals. I was like, the only decals are her legs and the symbol. Well, the symbol was actually inspired after playing in the level and watching other people play the level of A Matter of Family in Arkham Knight. I thought, oh, I have to do this. I have to get this Batgirl to look like that. So I found a decal of the symbol. I cut the symbol out, and just glued it onto the body. Her legs, I wanted to add a little bit more yellow to it, because this thing was mostly black. Let me see if I can move the legs. I can move the legs. Good. That's very good. And as you can see with the head, and I can't take the mask off. Like, just like with Robin, it's fused to the head, but as you can see, it's her aggressive face, which I think that's perfect for crime fighting. Strike fear into enemies. Okay, and on the back, I'm not completely satisfied with the hair on how this came out. I've seen some other versions of the mask, and the hair looks more realistic. It looks more lifelike. So that's my only downside with it. And so with the cape, this was originally going to be black and yellow, but I had to sacrifice that cape for Robin, so I just stuck to the original cape that she came with. And there's not really anything to go on with the back. The back I just kept the same, because it was all good. It's all good. Yeah, so that's pretty much that's it for Batgirl. Well, like with Batman, I might do some gauntlets in the future. To add a little bit more flair to it. So let's move on to the other figures. Next up is the awesome Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing minifigure. So not a whole lot to go on with this figure. Here it's somewhat painted, but it's mainly decals. But I thought that was okay. This was actually one of the original figures that I started building back when I first started doing customs. And it was like, I wanted to do a Nightwing minifigure, because Nightwing has always been one of my favorite characters. So he has the spiked up hairpiece, because I thought, that's actually good for Nightwing. That's actually very good. Good. And of course he has his iconic batons, and I actually might give those an upgrade. Make them a little bit more battle-like, I guess. And in the back, it actually has a decal, blue to line up with this part of the symbol. This was pretty much his New 52 look, but someone made it for where it's blue instead of red, and I actually like that. I prefer the blue over the red. And of course, and his arms, they were just originally blue, but I wanted to actually add a little bit more to them. So I painted on a little detailing to it. And the mask, I found this mask, and I thought it looked awesome. Like it actually spoke Nightwing. There's nothing really on his feet. His feet are just black. That's okay, / kind of boring. I don't know. But the figure in general, it's okay. It's good. I like it. Unless, the only improvements I would ever make on this figure is, well, aside from the batons, if Lego ever made like, the arms, like, can you imagine if the arms, you could extend them, and actually put stuff underneath? If you could actually do that, I would include his little gliding abilities. And I think the hairpiece, yeah, the hairpiece can actually come off of this one. There's no other face on the side, because I felt no need to include another face. But if Lego could actually do that, that would be awesome. Lego, if you're watching this, have that be a future event for you guys. Let's make it happen. Alrighty, now let's move on to the other figures. Next up, we have the lovely Batwoman. And I just realized I forgot her real name. Shoot. I'll have to look it up later. But anyways, with this figure, like the Nightwing minifigure, not really a whole lot to go on. Like, decal-wise, the only decal is her torso, and I guess her head, and if you would count the lips. I might, in the future, give her, like, red boots and red gloves. But at the moment, it's fine in general. This was another figure that I went through different phases. Like, back when I first started off with this figure, this was originally just, she had a mask, and she had a hairpiece. That was it. And I kind of wanted to see if I could do a Batgirl kind of style one, but I never found a mask for it. But when I got more experienced, and I don't know if I would say that, but when I got better at customizing, I took one of my Batman masks and actually cut off the chin part and added the molding clay as hair. I can't really take this off. Yeah. The head is just fused to the body entirely, which is good. That's good. We don't want to take it off. But that doesn't mean I can't give you a view of the cape. The cape itself. So this was originally a Supergirl cape. And when I bought a whole bunch of minifigures, and one of them was an extra Supergirl, well, I took the cape and I actually cut off the bits of it. It's not quite as, I guess I would say, neat as the Batman cape, but in general, this cape actually looks good. But I might even give her some guns, because in an animated Batman movie I saw, Batman Bad Blood. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. Well, but she had some guns. So in the future, I might give her some guns. And it's because I think this would add to the character even more. Alright, next please! Speaking of guns, now we have Red Hood. This is another one of my favorite characters of all time. This is so awesome. The suit is mainly based off of the Batman Under the Red Hood movie, which, if you haven't seen that movie, it's awesome. You need to check it out. It's incredible, and it's adapted a little bit of an Arkham Knight version, mainly because of the symbols on there. But it seemed pretty simple to make. This is largely painted on. Like I first painted on gray. Right? Then I added in a jacket. Like this was another one of those characters that went through different phases. This was originally just a gray torso with pants and the symbols on. And this was an actual helmet at first. This was before, or actually, this was like one of those racer helmets. Ones for Legos. Yes, but I upgraded. Yeah, but I upgraded it to a different hood. Now about the helmet, my original plan was that I was gonna make this removable. Sadly though, this clay it got stuck onto the head, so I can't take it off without ruining all the handiwork at it. So it's pretty much stuck like this. That's sad, but in a way it's okay. Okay, his pants. Not really a lot to go on with the pants. Well, aside from the belt. Aside from the belts, that's pretty much everything else. His guns. These actually came from Tenkai Knights. I don't know if anybody remembers them. But one of the packs, they had like these cool looking guns. And so I thought like, ooh, those would be awesome for Red Hood. Right, so I gave those to him. And in general, this figure is actually pretty cool. So, it's pretty satisfying. Alrighty. Bring the next one up, please. Up on stage, we now have Cassandra Cain's Batgirl. This would have to be the latest figure of the family to be made. This was made months ago. And this was actually given... The idea came to my head and last year I did an English assignment in my class where I had to read a choice novel. And the novel I picked was called Batman No Man's Land. One of the characters was Cassandra Cain, and she was Batgirl. And I saw a few other photos of her in her suit, and I thought, this looks cool. I want to make this. And then after the Lego Batman movie came out, and then when sets started coming out, I saw what the Batgirl cowl looked like, and it was like, oh, this is perfect. I have to do this. So the only decal really is the torso. Everything else was just painted black. Black. Like I believe her head. Well, in general, it's just the face painted black underneath. Oh wait, maybe I actually can. Yeah, I can. So as you can see, it's just painted on. And the back, there was a little stub at the back, for where you could connect the ponytail. I just cut that off. Because it was not required. Okay. Now, another look at the cape. Yeah, doesn't look like I can get the head off, sadly. But the cape in general, this was actually like the Robin cape from where on one side it was thick, the other side it was it was thin, and so this actually made it easier to paint on the black and the yellow. But in general, unless you have a cape like that, I recommend just a single color. We're ready for the next one. Please bring him in. Here we have Tim Drake's Red Robin and Robin minifigure. And you're like with some of the other... Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. That happens sometimes. Hang on. Red Robin. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, sorry, that happens sometimes. But anyways, like with some of the other figures, there's not really a whole lot to go on with. The only decal really is the torso. Like the head, this was not actually a decal. This was actually a normal Robin minifigure that I got when I got a whole bunch of figures. And the head does come off. It's very loose. And so this way we can get a look at the back. Hopefully I don't break the stuff again. Come on. There we go. So the cape. This was a very thin cape, but I needed the whole thing in black, so I just painted it in black, and now it's stuck. Like, you can kind of move it, but in general, you can't really do anything with it. Well, that's cool. Also, the decal was a very simple one, and one that I found of Red Robin. I actually might upgrade it to make it look a little bit cooler. Same thing with Nightwing. There's nothing really fancy of his legs. They're just black legs that I got from an extra minifigure I had. His staff, though, I wanted to give it a special effect. Hang on, let me move my figure. There we go. I wanted to give it a special effect for where you could move the staff. Make it go up and down, position it however you want it. And so that way, when he can have the staff on the ground, and when he's on the floor, or he can actually go on the ground. And so I thought that design was pretty cool. Cool. Alright, are we ready for the next... Wait, what? You lost him? You lost the figure... Bobby! Bobby! Where is the figure? You had one job, Bobby! Bobby! Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Hold on one second. Bobby! Sorry about that. Bobby was not doing his job. Yeah, talking about you, Bobby. Sorry about that. So here we have the last figure, who is pretty much the best character in the whole DC universe, Alfred Pennyworth. Like, you should ask anyone, like, who's the best DC character? And they say, Alfred. He's so awesome. He took down Superman, and he can pretty much be... He trained Batman, and this dude in general, he's just awesome. He's just awesome. This is another one of those figures that was one of the first that I made when starting out with this. There's not really a whole lot to go on with Alfred, sadly. And as you can see, he has his face decal, and of course his butler on their torso. There were originally some painted legs, but in some latest Legos I got, there was a whole bunch of gray legs. So I took one of the legs and put it on here. I kind of like in the Lego Batman movie, going on how he does have a hairpiece for where it's bald on top, but some sideburns on the side. And for the hair, I might, if I could find one of those, I might actually give it to him. Because he looks, but in general, he actually looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. He did have a tray, right, with him. And the tray, it was kind of one of those parts, and so I was like, do I really need this? Do I not? Not so. I might actually include that again one day, but for now, I'm actually satisfied with this figure. Here, alright, let's begin to wrap this up. Well, that is it for this episode of LEGO Arts. There's going to be a whole lot of more projects in the future, a lot of more minifigures, and a lot of more vehicles. And we're going to be doing some small set builds. We might even do a few set reviews of, like, some sets that have already been made, and maybe even some minifigures that other people have made, some other customs that they decided to share out into the world. But in general, that's going to be part of this project. And when I start showing in a lot more customs, I'll start doing a lot more videos with them, as I'm going to do short little films for each and every one of them. Whether it's like crossovers with other customs or just solo adventures with them. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, and subscribe if you want. You don't really have to. And share this to your friends. Like, spread the word out. And until next time, glory to Arkham. Bye-bye!